Can I talk a little bit about the origins of the Bunyip? Oh,
She's fixing it.
Oh my god, I read all of that and nobody heard me. Oh no, I have to read it again. Oh, okay.
you know,
I fixed it. For some reason, the stupid thing decided that that I didn't have a microphone. It's because Windows updated. So now I'm gotta read the thing again.
Want me to do it for you?
I mean, if you'd like to, you want the Wikipedia link, or do you have it?
I have, but like I was just saying, like if you don't want to, if you don't want to go through that again, I can do it again for you. Like,
Okay, if you remember the parts that I read.
Okay, I believe, yeah.
The Bunyip is a creature from the Aboriginal mythology of southeastern Australia, said to lurk in swamps, billabongs, creeks, riverbeds, and waterholes. The Bunyip has been described as amphibious, almost entirely aquatic, inhabiting lakes, rivers, swamps, lagoons, billabongs, creeks, waterholes, sometimes particular waterholes on the riverbeds. Physical descriptions of bunyips vary widely. George French Angus may have collected a description of a bunyip in his account of a water spirit from the Murundi people of the Murray River before 1847, stating it is much dreaded by them. It inhabits the Murray, but they have some difficulty describing it. Its most usual form is said to be that of an enormous starfish. The Chellicum Bunyip, an outline image of a bunyip carved by Aboriginal people into the bank of Fiery Creek near Ararat, Victoria, was first recorded by the Australian Asian newspaper in 1851. Australasian? Yeah, that's the one. According to the report, the bunyip has been speared after killing it. The bunyip had been. According to the report, the bunyip had been speared after killing an Aboriginal man. Antiquarian Reynold Jones claimed that until the mid-1850s, Aboriginal people made a habit of visiting the place annually and retracing the outlines of the figure of the bunyip, which is about 11 paces long and 4 paces in extreme breadth. The outline image no longer exists. Robert Brock Smith's Aborigines of Victoria, 1878, devoted 10 pages to the bunyip, but concluded, in truth, little is known among the blacks.
Yeah, it's the time period. There's a reason I skipped that part, but...
Sorry. In truth, little is known among the... respecting its form, covering, or habits. They appear to have been in such dread of it as to have been unable to take note of its characteristics. Eugenie Louise McNeil recalled from her childhood memory in the 1890s that the bunyip supposedly had a snout like an owl, a mapoke, and was probably a nocturnal creature by her estimation. The bunyips presumably seen by witnesses according to their descriptions most commonly fit one of two categories. 60% of sightings resemble seals or swimming dogs, and 20% of sightings are of long-necked creatures with small heads. The remaining descriptions are ambiguous beyond categorization. The seal dog variety is most often described as being between 4 and 6 feet long, with a shaggy black or brown coat. According to reports, these bunyips have round heads resembling a bulldog, prominent ears, no tail, and whiskers like a seal or otter. The long-necked variety is allegedly between 5 and 15 feet long, and is said to have black or brown fur, large ears, small tusks, a head like a horse or an emu, an elongated maned neck about 3 feet long, and with many folds of skin, and a horse-like tail. The bunyip has been described by natives as amphibious, nocturnal, and inhabiting lakes, rivers, and swamps. Bunyips, according to Aboriginal mythology, can swim swiftly with fins or flippers, have a loud, roaring call, and feed on crayfish, though some legends portray them as bloodthirsty predators of humans, particularly women and children. Bunyip eggs are literally laid in platypus nests.
There we go. So as you can hear, the bunyip could look like anything, really.
Pretty much.
I have two...
Much like my...
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Sorry. Much like my accent. It could be anything.
So I have two drawings over here, two sketches people have made. This one and this one of what it supposedly looks like. And as you can see, it's either a big cat or whatever the fuck that is. You know what, Ferb? It actually might be a kangaroo with mange or a kangaroo period, because here's the thing. As you can see by the images I have collected, there are a few creatures in Australia that kind of fit the descriptions that we have gotten. There is the saltwater crocodile, which is known to pull people into the water. I know it doesn't normally frequent freshwater, since obviously it's not a freshwater animal, but I do know that it hangs out near watering holes. There is also the thylacine, also known as the Tasmanian tiger. It had, because it sadly is extinct, it had a jaw that just dropped open off its face. If you've ever seen footage of it, it's crazy. It could just open its mouth the whole way at an insane angle. And lastly, and probably the actual perpetrator, a kangaroo. Kangaroos are mean little bastards. If they decide you're threatening them, if they can't kick you to death, they will try to lure you into the water, whereupon they will grab you with their deceptively strong forelimbs and yank you under the surface until you drown. So a sopping wet and beat up kangaroo might look like a sopping wet aquatic monster. So I've decided I'm going to try combining these things. Also, while I was looking for pictures of the thylacine, I learned that scientists are attempting to unextinct it by breeding creatures until they evolve into a thylacine. Because because apparently we have copies of the genome. A sopping wet kangaroo. Yes. A drenched kangaroo that has lured a stupid human into the water so it can drown them.
The final image here may resemble Dingodile.
A Dingodile. It's not a matter of can we do it, but should we do it. Really, the fact that the poor thing went extinct because of us, I guess means that if we have the ability to bring it back, we should. It might help rebalance some of the crazy bullshit we've done to Australia's ecosystem by introducing everything we should not. Because boy howdy did we introduce a lot of critters we should not have. As we do.
The gray squirrel.
Oh my god, we have that problem here in the US. The gray squirrel, very common in the United States and probably Canada, is not native. It was brought over on boats from Europe, and it killed almost every red squirrel. They are almost extinct now because of the gray squirrel. Because the gray squirrel is bigger and more aggressive, and doesn't have as many predators as the red squirrel does, so it just kind of ate them out of house and home.
Huh. I'm kind of down with this idea that I'm taking a look at right now.
Mm-hmm.
This is an article on Twitter.
Human hibernation is a real possibility. This is how it might work.
Oh, hold on. Dezarin says, you want to know something funny? That game that I told you about before, whose art I loved, Coldcept, has a depiction of a bunyip. It is nothing like what was described. Gray is the new red. Yeah, well, from the description that we read off the Wikipedia page, the bunyip could look like anything. It's just a critter that lived in the water and routinely eats people. Sure, please do. Please feel free to send it to me. So yeah, I'm gonna try and combine these creatures into one something. Some kind of something. Oh, let me have a look at what I've been sent. Oh, it ends up looking kind of like Nessie. Let me open that in a different tab. Or not. I said yes. Thank you. This is the creature that Dazara linked to me once it pops up. This is the depiction of the Bunyip from the game that she's got. And I think it actually looks kind of like Nessie. Which is entirely possible. That it could be another Nessie-like creature. Oh, and Ferb says that they are going to attempt to find another Squishmallow. Going on in a Squishmallow run. Or attempt, I guess. They're going to Eclairs this time. So I'll try and give this like a more lizardy face. And I'll have it, yeah, give it a mouth like a thylacine. Zarn says, the thing is, this game has the occasional depictions where I think that they've accidentally swapped the names of things. That's entirely possible. Do I have June bugs where I am? Probably. Let me look. What is a June bug? Ah! Those little dudes. Yes, we do. We do have them. Did not know they were called June bugs, we just called them beetles. I'll give it a mouth that opens up crazy wide like a thylacine does. So let's drop this whole mouth bit down. Yes.
See, this article I thought was talking about how we might already have the equipment to, go into a hibernator state. And I was like, I'm not sure if that's what we've all been in all this time, and we've always been unproductive, just like we haven't hibernated. Apparently what they're talking about is like there's drug testing going on to see if they believe we have the hardware to hibernate. And just think if we took the right sort of supplements or something, I guess, that it would trigger a hibernative state. I think it might be good for, number of health factors, and also possibly could assist in us making long journeys into space.
While that is an interesting thing to note, there's also the two other important factors. One, human beings, when left to their own devices, actually sleep for a few hours, then wake up for a little bit in the middle of the night, and then go back to sleep again. Hey, Devi! Devi is here. She is lurking while she works. She says, I hear a quiet voice. That's probably David. I can turn him up if he's too quiet for everybody. Let me turn him up. There we go.
Can people hear me?
Let me make sure that the volume is loud. Yeah, unfortunately, David always sounds too quiet, but I've got him on 200% now, so we should be able to hear him. There we go.
Hello.
There we go. Divi sent you some emotes.
Did he? And I can assure you, for people in my workplace, never say that about.
Well, I also know you're trying to keep your voice down. So, but yeah. On the one hand, human beings have a tendency, when left to their own devices, to sleep for a few hours, wake up for a little bit in the middle of the night, and then go back to sleep again. That's actually why apparently second breakfast is a thing, because they'd get up and they'd eat, quote, breakfast, go back to bed for another 4 hours, and then wake up again and have a proper breakfast. So second breakfast is true.
So you're telling me that I should be having second breakfast?
Yes. Also, before they start trying to get us to hibernate, maybe they should fix the reason why we don't get enough sleep in the first place. Just saying. We could have better work hours and be nicer to people, or we could try to force humans to hibernate.
That's an interesting concept, though. Like, if you could... Alright, let's ask you the question, Alex. If you could dedicate a certain amount of time to just lazing about and sleeping, what would it be?
I'd prefer it to be 9 hours.
you wouldn't want to do that for, say, multiple days.
Well, no, because I like to be active.
Hmm.
Everybody in the chat is discussing whether or not lunch and dinner are just third and fourth breakfasts.
I remember I once asked a woman in work, if you had £10,000, if you won £10,000 suddenly, you could spend it on anything, on like a nice long holiday, what would you do? And she just said, I'll be in bed.
Yeah.
10 grand to spend on anything. Go to bed.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's because most people nowadays are just overworked. They're overworked and underpaid and overstressed. So, if people want to fix all of that, then the workplace needs to be fixed. As Ferb has told us and reaffirmed many a time.
True.
So used to 5-6 hours sleep, sometimes less, says Divvy. I know. We need to get a good sleep schedule for you, but it's not easier said than done, I know that both you and Kiki have, like, crazy work schedules.
Divi is from Japan, correct?
Divvy is not from Japan. Kiki is from Japan.
Oh, sorry, I'm getting my people mixed up. Sorry there.
Or rather, her father's side of the family is. I don't know about her mother's side, but her father's side is.
Okay.
She's originally Canadian.
Canadian.
I think her mother's side is Japanese as well, actually, the more I think of it, because they had a debate about the name they gave her.
Canadians.
Yeah, originally she was born in Canada.
All of their cryptids are just our cryptids.
But more northern.
Yeah. Lame.
Hey, Mike,
Dizarn says, excuse me, what was that about Canadians? There's 2 Canadians in here.
Mike, step off. You're German. I'm the British one. I'm the only one allowed to hate the French.
That's not true.
What does that have to do with Canada?
The world who have the right to hate the French.
There's plenty of people, French people in Canada. Well,
Yeah, I know, but the entirety of Canada isn't French. Not anymore. Canada's its own thing, so if you don't like France, go get mad at France.
Yeah, well, I mean...
I do get mad at France.
You can be mad at Quebec, though.
Oh my god. Divvy said, who said that, lol? I don't know who said that you were Japanese, but you are not. Unless there's something I don't know. As far as I am aware, you are not Japanese. Dizarn says, I will dump you in the haunted wine vaults, mister.
Haunted wine's a very odd way of saying a syrup mixed with water.
Are you saying that syrup is haunted wine?
No, yeah, well,
in
Canadian
Canada, yeah.
wine, yeah.
Oh, Divvy says, no, I meant the Canadian thing. Oh, that's Mike being a shit.
I'm just speaking truth to power, okay?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, so basically Mike is saying that Canada is to America what the Romans were to the Greeks.
Thieves and murderers? I say that because Rome invaded them. Dizarn says, no,
yeah.
I am talking about a tourist spot here. Oh, apparently they have haunted wine vaults where Dizarn lives.
I was mainly referring to like how the Romans ripped off all the Greek gods.
Oh. Yeah, Divvy says, no, I'm Floridian, but not the crazy kind. Thank goodness.
There's another kind.
Yes, the
Yes.
kind that left Florida and moved to New York.
Yeah, there are 3 kinds of people from Florida. People who love Florida, people who are from Florida and want to get out but can't afford to, and then
The
people
who got out.
who did get out. Those are the 3 kinds of people who come from Florida.
Who
There's a
dude?
fourth. There's just the people there's there's a fourth kind, and that's the people who are sent to Florida because it's not safe for them anywhere else.
The elderly? A lot of elderly people in the U.S. like to move down to Florida because it's warm, and I guess as you get older, your body temperature gets deleted. Tiffy's going, no! Alex!
I was talking about crazy people, but that works too.
I'm sorry, Dee. I just randomly remembered a joke that my mother does hate the cold and loves going to Florida, says Dizarin. Oh no!
You can't spell Florida without old.
I mean, the letters are there, yeah.
Oh god, you rearrange shades.
If you rearrange it, I guess.
Actually, messed up there.
Old Frida is what. No, it says old. If we rearrange the letters, and we say old, then we have old Frida, or Freya. Oh, Old Fair. Yeah, yours is better than what I wrote. Old Fair.
I thought you could put in Old Fail, and then I realized I was wrong.
Old Fair. Jesus. What are we doing today? Old gray mare, she ain't what she used to be, asks Dizarin. Yes. But I made that comment because I randomly remembered a joke that one of my friends was talking about, was that is that the elderly go down to Florida because it's so warm, when really they should stay up north because the cold will preserve them for longer. I have nothing against old people, by the way.
They go down to Florida. So
I do. They keep Florida alive.
That just means you don't like old Floridians. That's not the same thing.
The elderly go down to Florida so they can get used to the temperature for health.
Oh my god. Cryogenics on a budget, says Nova.
That's Canada.
Oh my god. We're coming dangerously close to, like, insulting people for real, though. I'm gonna stop talking.
Why?
I mean, there are plenty of nice people who live in Florida.
Yeah, we've already talked about that.
Jesus Christ.
I'm not talking about the people of Florida. I'm talking about Florida itself.
The conceptual Florida.
The conceptual Florida.
The idea
The
of
cryptid
Florida.
that is Florida.
Yes. Florida itself is a bit of a cryptid, if you think about it. Some of the news stories that come out of there, you do go, huh. Dizarin says, you know, I recently got to play with a few other Canadians, and it was interesting to actually have people know what I meant when I just said, an Albertan, a Manitoban, and a Newfie walk into a bar. I know that those are all places in Canada, but that's it.
Yeah, it's like maybe when I mention the terms, like, say I'm talking with these guys and I bring up the term Scouts or Geordie or what's the other one? Let's try to think of another good one.
Dick.
Or, you guys know what a cockney is. I'm trying to think of one that was throwing out.
That we probably don't know.
I'll go ahead and think of one. A Brummie.
Nova says, I swear that when he, being David, said that, it sounded like the people of Florida had air quotes around people.
I know I said something with air quotes earlier.
It's the equivalent of a Texan, maybe somebody from Kansas, and a Northeast fisherman walking into a bar. Make your own joke. I see. Horse walks into a bar and a bartender says, "Why the long face?"
Do people from Canada truly understand what they're talking about when they refer to Texans?
I assume
The
that.
main people from the hot country with the guns.
I'm assuming
Do
that.
do they truly understand what they're invoking?
Does Aaron says, "I mean, ...
Do you
They're the
understand?
We're going off of a horrible stereotype, so.
The people in Texas, they preach love thy neighbor, but constantly hate on Mexico.
That's because there's a lot of racist people. And Texas is by and large mostly conservative. Cowboys and King of the Hill. Yeah. They're very conservative. In most parts of Texas. I almost said Florida. I mean, it's same for Florida.
Yes.
But-
Go ahead. Make my day.
Oh my god.
Partner.
Partner.
That is what that is. The stream has been going on for 30 minutes. This is no. Yes, it has. It has been going on for 30 minutes. And we are talking about Texas.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Desarin says that's basically what Alberta is. Desert and oil providence as well. And Ferb says, Texas had that governor that left on a tropical vacation when the Texan people were left to freeze. Yes! And he went to Florida.
Not a governor.
Ted-
but
Oh, I'm sorry. No, you're right.
He was a senator.
Senator.
But yes.
Ted Cruz went on a cruise.
Yes, he did. Because he's an asshole.
And no, he didn't go to Florida. He went to Mexico.
Oh, I thought he went to Florida. My bad.
No, Cancun, Mexico.
A general person in charge, Ferb corrects themselves.
Well, now that's the case where you put air quotes around person.
Sadly, he is a person. He's just not a good person. Snow in Texas is a sign of the end times. I mean, it is a sign of global climate change, yes. What do you guys think of my current bunyip, by the way? I have to give it a mane like a horse now.
I think the bunyip. I think your bunyip is good. I think it will translate well into a Pokemon.
Yay!
I have to say that this is a lot more terrifying than what I was thinking of.
Yeah. I think you've done well with the lore.
Thank you.
Because I was just thinking of like a hairless kangaroo. So, and I assume, like most animals, that the skin underneath the hair looks
saggy.
like a chicken. Yeah, like a saggy chicken.
I mean, maybe.
So this is more terrifying than I was thinking.
Ferb says, it reminds me of the Gungoozler. I don't know what a Gungoozler is. That sounds Susian. Oh, it's a wrinkly boy like the Jersey Devil. Also, maybe that's another cryptid to add to my list then. And Desarin says, I give your current bunyip a rating of R. Yay! Thank you. Pretty good for 30 minutes. The Gungoozler's made up from a YouTube channel that was deleted. You had to be there. Oh, I see. Okay. So it no longer is available to the viewing public. On a scale from lizard kangaroo to Wendigo, it is a solid megasalazol. Joking. Didn't you do the Jersey Devil already? Yes, I did. He's a cute pink lad. Is number 2, actually. Number 1 was the Beast of Bladenborough.
Ah, okay. And what kind of Australian accent you reckon this guy talks with?
Probably doesn't talk. It probably just hisses a lot. Let's see.
It just goes. So basically, it goes squonky.
Give it stripes. like the Tasmanian tiger. The thylacines were such nervous little boys. It's very sad that they died. Alright, let's give them some gator spines as well. Let's see, if I had to pick what the wow, just immediately deleted the name of the creature from my brain. Bunyip. If I had to pick what a bunyip actually was, if I had to hazard a guess, I would say it was a kangaroo. Given their propensity of loving to drown people.
See, the kangaroo was originally from England, but they all got sent over to Australia because they drowned people so much. And that was illegal unless you had no ability.
Good lord. Or Jack the Ripper. Who he himself may have been a cryptid. Actually a really interesting book that has Jack the Ripper in it as a character. But it's got a bunch of other people in their characters too. Let me see. What is it called? One of the podcasts I listen to. The formerly HP Podcraft, now Strange Studies, Strange Stories. What is it called? Tell me, my friends. It is called A Night in the Lonesome October, and it is divided into 32 chapters. Maybe a kangaroo was framing a wallaby. Could be. But it's got 32 chapters, so it's got the prologue and then all 31 days of October. And I don't know what much of it's about, but it follows a dog who is the familiar of Jack the Ripper, and he talks to the familiars of all the other people in the, quote, game that they're in.
Be right back.
It's actually kind of really anime in a sense, because there's the doctor, who is definitely Frankenstein. There's the Count. There's a woman named Crazy Jenny, and she's a witch. And they each have a little animal companion. And it's got something to do with Lovecraftian critters being kept hidden in some location. Like, Jack the Ripper's got a bunch of them in his apartment. Right, let me clean these lines up a little bit, because I actually want to make this one look like pretty good. I like the pose for this thing, though. This swimmy pose I have it in. Excuse me. Reminds me of a visual novel that I heard about, says Designed. Oh, thank you. Whoa. Okay. Computer, chill. Photoshop, chill. Holy shite. Just want to move the references down a little bit. You didn't have to do whatever the heck that was. Good damn. Just hide those for a little bit. Sounds like a fun read / listen. Yes. They're doing it 8 chapters at a time, because they'll be doing it through the month of October. So they got like 3 or 4 weeks to do them all. I also encourage people to listen to Strange Studies of Strange Stories. They have a Patreon that I am subscribed to. And then you get all of their stuff. If not, they only have one free show a month. Which is also very good. but sometimes it's in the middle of a story, and so you're left like, oh, I don't know. But backlogged back from when they were HP Podcraft, they have just about every novel he ever wrote they did a review of. They've got some readings from his stuff as well, so it's really good. I actually got into Lovecraft because of them. Oh good, Ferb finished the PowerPoint. Excellent. I also, because of their podcast, know way too many fun facts about Lovecraft, like he was scared of salad. He survived for an entire year at one point on penny candy and coffee in literal buckets. Buckets of coffee. He got into a fight with a guy about whether or not dogs were better than cats, and they both wrote rather extensive essays about that. He got Harry Houdini mad at him because in the story Houdini commissioned him to write about him, he had him faint. And Houdini didn't like that. And they had a rather heated discussion about it while at a restaurant together, during which Lovecraft enjoyed a dessert of half a cantaloupe filled with vanilla ice cream. He was also, I think he was scared of salad. Did I say that? He was scared of salad. He also carried
phobia of salad. He also ate ice cream a lot.
Yes, he loved coffee-flavored ice cream. He thought it was the best thing that we had ever created as a species.
I think his specifics there, fear of salad was a particular kind of salad, which was Caesar. Yeah, that pun didn't work as well as I was hoping.
I'm not sure if he was scared of seafood, although by all accounts he probably should have been.
Oh, I said Caesars and Caesars.
Yeah, no, I know, but I just thought to myself, I wonder if he was scared of fish. Probably could never get him to eat calamari if you tried. Salad must have harmed him, yes. He also lived in fear that one day he was going to go insane.
You just stop there. He just lived in fear.
Yes, he also just lived in fear because he was a racist twat. But he lived in constant fear that that he would go mad like his mother, even though the reason his mom went mad was because she got sick. Not because madness ran in the family. Oh, Dazarin found the game and linked it to me. Oh, that's interesting. It's called Mycorrhiza. Reality distorts and people's morals start shifting in cruel and unexpected ways. Okay. That looks neat. Might have to add that to my checkout list. Could not get him to eat calamari. Nope. So first thing has to do with pets. Made me think of the thing with the familiars you were talking about. Oh, cool. Nice.
Been watching little extracts of a show called Forged in Fire.
Mm-hmm.
It's been interesting seeing like different sort of weapons and things you can use it for. I decided to add one called a Sonamari. Basically turned into a D&D weapon. It's a Japanese sort of, I want to say kind of like a trident. It's basically like a big stick with, prongs on the end, and one of them specifically hooked. It was used by like Japanese police back in the olden times, and they would use the hook to grab onto people who were unruly and bring them into custody.
I see.
The idea was to snag on their clothes.
Mm-hmm.
But also to rip out their guts if necessary.
Oh. That's a little harsh.
Right. I think. All right. I think I've done it.
You got me my computers? My wall pooters? For the map?
I've gotten you 2. There will be more on the way soon.
Excellent.
I don't know how many you would actually need just for an apartment.
I don't know either, but I mean, if we're going to make any maps in the future that fit in Star Wars, then that will be useful to have.
Oh, I missed some bits.
Mike and I are creating a Patreon for Dungeons and Dragons maps. We will have samples when it goes live, which should be soon. We're hoping it will be soon.
Very, very soon. Yeah.
Yes. And we will do fantasy maps, modern day maps, and sci-fi maps. And we have tried to think of common locations that you might need, and locations that might take one by surprise.
For Star Wars, okay. So, have you got a desert planet?
Not yet, no.
Not yet, no.
You need a desert planet.
But like maps for if all of a sudden your party starts a fight in a tavern. We have a tavern. We have plans for one that's like an abandoned road. I thought it might make a good modern setting if we had a crashed car. By surprise, you meant a scene out of Caligula. Yes. I thought it might be make a good map for like a game with zombies if I had like a crashed car on the side of the road. It would definitely be surprising. Yes. I know exactly how I'm going to pose this thing when I move on to the chibi. It's going to look so silly.
I can't wait to see.
That's gonna be fun.
And take advantage of its super long, thin-ass neck.
Thin ass neck. It's gonna become part giraffe.
It'll be a tiny little RAR factory, yes. Go. Make sure to give it some scales on this side. So it's part scale, part fluff. I almost said part scaly, part furry, and then I paused and remembered what that meant. And was like, nope.
Careful with the term. You're not playing with fire, the relics.
I mean, I did draw a whole bunch of furry anthro things for funsies. Not a single furry has commissioned me. I'm sad. Drawing anthros is actually really fun, I think.
Means you can have some fun with some features. And plus, they're a bit more, can be more expressive than the average human face if you do things right.
And if you do things wrong, you end up with the Lion King remake, where everybody's face just looks like plastic.
Well, hello there, Simba.
I will not talk about it more than just making the statement, but I cannot believe that they're making a retconning prequel. That is the dumbest shit. Let's destroy our own plot. What little lore we possess. It'll be fine. The kids will love it. What do you mean they won't? Well, you don't know what you're talking about, so there.
The only version of Lion King that I've actually enjoyed is Lion King 1.5.
Oh, is that the one with,
Didn't
like,
like
the
the
adventures of Timon and Pumbaa?
Yep.
Guildenstern and Rosencrantz must die. Which is what it's based on.
They didn't like the original?
No, I actually am not a fan of the original.
That's fair. Lion King is amazing, but look how they're massacring my boy. Yeah. Man,
Like
this
I think
Jonathan
the
Taylor
original
badass.
has incredible animation, but that's about all I can say. I'm not a big fan of the story or the themes.
Did...
Isn't that my boy Willie Shakes right there?
Well, I think if the attempt was to model itself off of off of
Hamlet.
what is it? Hamlet. Yeah, it did a very poor job of it.
Yeah. That is not what I was looking for.
Because
Oh, here it is.
Hamlet is has entirely different themes than
Here we go.
Lion King.
Fair enough. Just one of the excuses to say Willie Shakes.
I understand. You have to take advantage of the opportunity whenever it presents itself.
Sorry, it's gonna take the music a second to load. My internet connection really fucking hates me right now for some reason. It's been doing this for a while. Where there's no reason for it to be laggy, it just is. I'm gonna blink Windows.
Technology seems to be degrading. Oh, Mike. I saw something earlier you might like. So there's a show called Forged in Fire. Have you heard of it?
No.
Okay. So basically, it's a contest where blacksmiths have to, what's the word?
Forge?
Recreate historical weapons.
Here we go.
So how they does it, put up the strength tests and stuff like that. And one thing that they made is a top 7 German weapons from history that they featured on the show. I was wondering if you wanted to take a look.
Not right now, but yeah, I'd be willing to take a look.
I have decided to give it toe beans.
Oh yeah, I didn't mean like right now, but would you like me to link you to it?
Sure.
Ooh, this is a very fancy.
I like watching crafts people work.
Oh, for this one, you don't see them working in the top 7, but you will do on the individual videos.
Lame.
Ferb shouted breaking development, toe beans! More at 11. I don't know, I felt like it needed them. Like
This is understandable.
If there's the opportunity to
like
give
the
something toe beans, you should.
Yes.
I like the luscious flowing locks.
Thank you. They're only luscious when it's underwater. When it gets above the surface, it's probably a matted mess.
Can't do anything with it.
Nope.
That's why it looks so monstrous in its its hair's old.
This comes out of the water looking like the ring, just... Terrible, horrible horse. Oh, also, I rewatched Alien 9 yesterday, because it's only 4 episodes long. And if anybody likes weird, slightly creepy stuff, I recommend it. I wouldn't say it's gory. I mean, there's one scene that comes close, but it's all green alien blood. So, I don't think it really counts.
Because aliens are people.
Well, I mean, it's like it's not copious amounts of blood or human bits.
How dare you say that about Polly?
Well, I didn't say it. Alex did.
It also ends, I recommend after you watch it, because the ending will make you blink and go, pardon, to look up how the manga ends, because the show stops halfway through the story.
Well, I'll write it down.
It's also got 2 sequel books, but I think that the first one, the way that it ends, is the better, because it leaves you on a question, and I think that that's better.
I don't like questions, I like answers.
Oh, it gives you plenty of
I don't-
answers, but it leaves you with an intriguing question at the end.
Here's the thing for me, though. I don't like to think. So why do I need to go and do the thinking when the entertainment should do the thinking for me?
Well, then go plunk yourself in front of whatever is left of MTV.
Thank you. I'll do that.
Also, apparently Warner Brothers is buying Cartoon Network.
Okay.
So, I think.
I don't know why I randomly remembered that.
It was good knowing Cartoon Network while it lasted.
Yeah, well, I mean, plenty of people have chastised. I forget who broke the article, but whoever did got a lot of them really pissed off at them because they implied that this meant that Cartoon Network's animation studios were all going to be shut down and everybody was going to be out of a job, and a ton of people panicked and the stock went weird, and people who worked at the studio were like, you can't say shit like that because A, it isn't true, and B, you like seriously fucked this up for a lot of people.
Sure, not true.
Yeah, Warner Brothers has a bad habit of purchasing something and then completely destroying it. So
Yeah.
I don't know if it's unrealistic.
Oh, Dezarin has let me know that she has sent me 2 pictures. Does not want to interrupt the drawing, so you'll let me know the point of it later. Okay. I will happily look at them post-stream. Oh, my tummy grumbled. It's hungry.
Can't let people know that bad things are going to happen now that Warner Brothers is in charge. We need to keep that shit under wraps because people can't notice what happens.
Well, the point is that they were making it sound like Cartoon Network was going to disappear, when that is not what's happening at all. And it made a lot of people panic. Which is super dishonest to do.
No, it's not going to disappear, but it is going to get worse.
Yeah, I mean... I mean, they've already had an agreement with Warner Brothers for some time where, a lot of the shows that they have on there that aren't originals are from them.
What I mean is, like, Warner Brothers is fine. Like, they make their own animated stuff, and that stuff is good.
Mhm.
It's just the problem is whenever these big acquisitions occur, almost always there is some person who is making decisions about what pieces of media that they keep, and they almost always axe the good stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So the reason I feel that way is just because I'm afraid of what they're going to cancel.
Yeah, well, if you leave them to their own
It's
devices, they'll axe anything that girls have taken too much of an interest in because we can't have conflicting consumer bases.
Yeah.
That's why they canceled Green Lantern. It's why they canceled Young Justice.
Okay, so we need to market it towards people that like cartoons. Cartoons
Why they
versus
canceled Teen Titans too.
Yep, same thing with Teen Titans.
So, cartoons were originally started in the 1940s, so I want you to get people from the 1940s and see what they like to watch.
Well, they have this stupid notion that girls aren't into comic books, which is a lie. So anytime a poorly written comic with a female lead doesn't do well, they're like, see, told you girls don't like comics. Which is stupid. They also think that as a result, girls shouldn't... Okay, instead of taking, like, the Teen Titans merch and selling it as Teen Titans merch, everything, they divide all of their merchandise into boy stuff and girl stuff. So, if the girls' things are not selling... And Teen Titans isn't girl stuff, by the way. Teen Titans was all boy stuff. So all the merch was like boys' t-shirts and action figures and things. And girl stuff was like their Girl Power Wonder Woman line or whatever the fuck. And when that wasn't selling, because girls didn't want it, and when the Teen Titans stuff was selling, to the majority being girls and not boys, they flung their hands in the air and they went, see, it's a wash, and canceled it, even though it's probably one of the most popular things that they ever put out. And they did it again with Green Lantern. Didn't they have other things, DC Superhero Girls or something? Yes, they did, which I believe was a series of shorts that appeared during commercials. I don't think it was its own show.
You see, all the Teen Titans stuff sold. It's because so many boys like this stuff. Oh, really? So which stuff sold the most? The Raven merchandise, you were saying?
Oh, maybe it was a show, but I thought that the episodes were relatively short and that it was like between... I don't know. I watched them on YouTube, so... I didn't watch them when they were on TV. But yeah, I agree with Ferb. Selling things by gender is really stupid. Especially nowadays where we are finally embracing the fact that there's, more than just a binary. 15-minute, 2 episodes of show format? Yeah, that could be. That could be why I thought they were shorts and not a show. Silly.
For legal purposes, we have to remind everybody that Warner Brothers claims that this is not the case.
Yes, they say it's not the case, but evidence strongly suggests that is not true. Case in point.
Well, the wasn't one of the showrunners that leaked this or shared this information?
Yeah. And the them thinking girls doesn't read comics comes from numerous times that they have appeared at colleges, been asked a question by a girl who is interested in getting into comics, the best way to apply for things, and then been told to their faces that girls don't like comics, so no. Even though that is a girl who likes comics.
I know what you like. I'll
right
tell you
there
what you like.
in the audience.
Sweetie, you don't know what you
come
like.
on.
That's what I'm here to do.
Stop doing what you're doing, Fuck.
That's what I'm here to figure out.
My brush is freaking out, so I'll do it this way. Pain in the ass. I want to go work on the chibi.
We'll get you a nice show about cooking. How about that, Chloe?
Get your show
Well, it's funny
about girl power.
Because, growing up, I watched Johnny Bravo, Powerpuff Girls,
Powerpuff Girls are so fucking good!
Sailor Moon.
Yes!
Particularly Powerpuff Girls and Sailor Moon would absolutely be targeting, a female demographic.
Oh yes, but you see, if boys buy the girl merch, that's not failing to sell to the correct demographic. That's expanding the demographic. And that's good. It's really stupid.
I watch Power Rangers.
That's
I also
why
watch Power
when
Rangers.
all the guys got into My Little Pony, nobody batted an eye and nobody went, "Oh no." Sailor Moon was niche back when it first came out, says Desarin. Back when anime was new here. Yeah.
Not where I was. where I was, it was big. Which was I
was
lived in
pretty
Hawaii
big.
at the time.
Yeah, it was pretty big in the US. We loved it. We were all very confused about the cousins thing. We all knew something was amiss, but we were too young to know what being gay was, so... Or at least
You mean
the
they're
word. Ferb says, when you find yourself without a gender, all the gendered things in the world become extra dumb.
Did you guys see that horrible video earlier today about the guy who was being like, brothers and sisters and that kind of thing? It's the Bible doesn't say anything.
I did not see whatever that was, no. To answer really quick what Desarin said, I mean, I would say that the jokes of bronies are indeed a thing. And yes, that is true. People joke about them. When I said nobody batted an eye, I meant from a corporate angle. Corporate was very pleased that they got to sell extra merch to the boy crowd.
I just wish that every pony would get off our backs.
Alright, let's see about making this tiny and cute.
I used to be into it for a little bit, like say for the first season. Did I tell you how I managed to convert someone?
Huh?
Convert somebody?
Yeah, did I ever tell you guys the story about how I managed to convert someone into becoming a brony?
No,
No.
I did not hear this.
Okay. So, one thing that it involved was there's basically this guy who lived in Wales, and him and his sister used to play Halo Reach on the Xbox 360. And so, every so often, I meet up with a guy.
I think I know who this person is.
Maybe I don't think you ever met him actually.
Okay.
Anyway, so I do that, and we like to play two games mainly. We like to play Halo Reach, and we like to play Mass Effect 3 multiplayer. So, at one point, I keep on saying like, "Oh, you should go and watch the show, dude. Like, it's funnier than you expect. You enjoy." It's like, no, I'm not watching a pony thing. And one time, I'm just playing with his sister. He hasn't shown up today, and I'm like, "Hey, you wanna pull a little prank on this fellow and your brother with me?" And she's like, "Yeah. All right, here's what I want you to do. I want you to write a little note that says, 'You will join the herd.' And I want you to leave it inside of his Mass Effect 3 case. We're going to play Halo Reach, and then I'm going to ask him to swap over to Mass Effect 3. So she goes ahead and does that. And I'm listening on the mic as this guy's just trying to figure out, as this guy's switching over the cases, and he just goes like, "David, have you been in my room?" And then after a few seconds, he twitches and goes, "Molly?" Yeah, and
Amazing.
eventually he ended up becoming more of a brony than I did.
Well, as long as he didn't have the questionable puppet.
Questionable.
Yeah.
I don't think I'm gonna ask.
The handhole was in a less than ideal place. It's exactly where you think it is.
I know, I just don't want to think about it.
This thing is somehow becoming a llama.
Where's your cootie mark gonna go?
Good question.
You got a really good job with the bunny.
Thank you.
Claws look good. It looks aquatic. Got the, it's a relic of Australia. Fucked up.
Australia is a really neat
Right.
location, given that it is sort of like out of time. Like it didn't.
Yeah.
Not
it-
really
it's
out of
some-
time,
sorry,
but
it's,
it's the
out
whole
of-
biosphere is
Yeah.
like isolated from the rest of the world, so it evolved differently.
all the fauna is pretty much out to get you.
This is true.
Everything in Australia
it is-
hates that you're here.
Well, or how about that terrifying fern or whatever? It's like a plant that
The
has
one that will
tiny
sting.
microneedles.
Oh, the one
And
that
it, like,
hurts.
it's apparently the pain is so bad that even animals will actually try to
like
to,
gnaw their limbs to get rid of it.
gnaw their own limbs off in order to get rid of the pain.
Yeah, there's some reports, and they're, take them with a grain of salt, but there's some reports of like it being so painful that horses and people have attempted to unalive themselves to make the suffering end.
I know that David Attenborough, I think it was him, went up to one of them and touched them using like a special pair of gloves.
You still get
And even
stung.
then, still got stung a bit,
Yeah.
and he was like, "Oh, that's not nice."
Yeah. So there's a lot of ow to be found in Australia. There's a lot of
the
things
ow
that do
is
not want
ow.
you to be there.
Like they get all the good days. That's just them getting the pain. And it's like, get high.
I know that that's one of the most painful plants, but I believe the most painful animal is the Irukandji jellyfish. I think that one is still the most painful. It is
Jelly.
almost invisible. It's the size of your pinky nail, and it's translucent. And its sting is so bad that even morphine will not take the edge off of it. You just have to sit there and suffer for several days, waiting for it to stop. And I watched a documentary on it where they were trying to find some of them, ironically enough, to like see how many were in the area or whatever. And both the scientist and the assistant got stung, and they didn't have vinegar on board to kill the stingers. So they just went to the hospital and they just filmed them there, and the guy like could barely talk, and the assistant just sat in her bed and like cried. It was so sad. I was
Now,
like,
the real
oh my
question.
god.
The real question, though,
Hmm.
how did it compare to stepping on a Lego brick?
I mean,
This is true. You know not pain until you step on it.
it's funny that we're talking about things that are poisonous and hurt, and then the chat is talking about selling products based on gender and how stupid of an idea it is. Dezarin says, I do at least love that we still have companies that are specifically niche, just niche products. They have their audience, and they make it for that audience. It's as simple as that. Yeah.
Yeah, like Lego makes red, white, whatever bricks for boys, and then pink bricks for girls.
I believe that like Lego actually, not to like kill the joke, but Lego actually has made it kind of their modus operandi for like forever, that Legos were for anybody of any age, any gender, any.
I don't know about the entire time, but
As far as I've ever known.
I believe they've recently changed their like modus operandi.
As far as I was aware growing up, that was their thing. Is they were like, "Nah, Legos are for everybody."
They almost certainly did make girly Legos.
Yes, I know that they definitely did that. They had like Barbie style Lego sets.
Yeah, but have they ever done proper boys' toys where you get like a Lego AK-47?
No, but there is a Nerf series of girl weapons, which unintentionally are hilarious and also amazing, and I kind of want them. Because it's like a handgun that turns into a purse. and like a pink and bedazzled crossbow. Or not crossbow, longbow. And I'm like, I kind of want this. I'm not gonna
There's
lie.
actually a crossbow as well, though, if you wanted that.
There is a crossbow also. Excellent.
a hand crossbow.
Oh my. I'm gonna put a little pouch on its tummy. It has a pouch. There we go. Now it is a marsupial.
Oh, and there's a high visibility vest that comes in pink with a little floral decorative pattern on the shoulders that you can have as well.
Oh my god. Alright, let's
I don't
clean this.
I don't even actually own. Oh wait, yeah, I do own one Nerf product, and I want more. It's gonna be my unhealthy habit at some point. It sucks because I don't have anyone to really use them with.
Move to the city.
I told one person. I joked with one person earlier today. I should bring him one into work, and they're like, "Yeah, do it." I'm like, "No, that's not a good idea."
No, that'd be a very bad idea. Look at this weird gothic child with their long emo hair.
It's just a phase, Mom.
Dragging people in the water and eating them is only a phase. God. Or no, it's not a phase. It's not a phase, Mom. This is just who I am. Dezarin says, Lego does have some, quote, girl products, but yeah, Legos are more branded by franchise now. Although I do find it mildly sad that the, quote, girl brand for Legos is called Lego Friends, which makes it sound like boys don't have friends.
They don't. We just have enemies who don't have the guts to kill us.
Oh my god. I could say the same of, like early pubescent girl groups.
We don't have friendships. We just have ambivalence.
They have frenemies. My lord. All boys have a Gary. And that's what they get.
Gary.
Says Dezarin. Gary fucking Oak.
Gary!
Gary! Gary. Gary. Gary.
I'm glad that you knew what I was
I
referring to.
do.
I'm not sure if I do what's going on.
So, are you familiar with Fallout lore?
A little bit.
So, you're familiar with the fact that the vaults in Fallout are social experiments?
Yeah, owned by Vault Tech.
Yes.
Okay, so one of them in Fallout 3, or no, maybe it was Fallout New Vegas.
It's
it was
Fallout New
3, though.
Vegas.
Okay, it's Fallout New Vegas.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Gary is Fallout New Vegas.
It's one of the
Somebody
two.
Google it for us.
They're basically the same game, except one is more boring than the other. So in this vault there is nothing but people named Gary, and they all just say Gary,
And they all look the same. They're the same guy.
yeah, they're the same person. They're all the same person named Gary. And it's implied that they cloned a guy.
Yep. They
and
left
the
a
guy,
dude.
The whole vault was just filled with clones of him.
Yeah, I believe. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong. I believe it was that they put him in there by himself, and initially he had like puppets for companionship, and then when he started kind of deteriorating, the vault let him know that there was a cloning facility, and he began to clone himself, and then after a while it all just started to degrade, and now the only thing that the clones can say is Gary, and we have some fragments of evidence that suggest that Gary isn't even his name. So yeah.
Part of a grand cloning experiment with a fatal end, 54 clones
there
of
we go.
Gary were created. Each had varying levels of violent and psychotic traits and behaviors,
Oh boy.
leading to the scientist's deaths and Gary's running freely throughout the vault.
Amazing.
They use inflections of voice tone, speaking only their name to communicate, and are hostile towards any outsiders not Gary.
Mike, they're wild Pokemon.
Yes. Don't avoid the tall grass. A holotape labeled cloning log can be found in Vault 108 Cloning Lab, which explains that Gary was cloned at least 54 times. All clones exhibited hostility towards non-clones, with each successive clone being more and more violent. When the Vault scientists started running out of room to store the clones, they planned to destroy some of them to make room for additional test subjects. Sometime afterwards, the clones violently took control of the Vault. One can find their location, Vault 108, with the Vault door ajar.
Oh yeah, and that's how you end up there because you fucking find him. Don't you?
Gary.
Or he stumbles upon a town and people are like, you need to figure out where this guy came from.
And it is Fallout 3, not Fallout New Vegas.
Oh, it is Fallout 3. Okay, I thought it was New Vegas. Aw, Ferb says Squishmallow Run cancelled. Sad.
I always felt that Bethesda's social experiment things were more interesting than what other folks do.
Yeah. They came up with some wild ones.
Which I don't know if that's a good thing, because that means you have to come up with really fucked up social
That means that there's somebody there who's having way too much fun with their job.
Yeah.
Social experiment is just a work environment.
Nah, it's just a prank, bro. It's just a social experiment. Why are you mad?
Oh my god. Oh my god. That made me think of Sam Pepper. Oh my god, it's been a while. It's been a while.
Ah, I gave you a flashback, did I?
You want a social experiment? Go ahead and have like 10 people in a room and have one of them in charge of, like, let's say, a game console, and like it's their responsibility to see how that changes things.
There have been some interesting social experiments. I think the one where they made it seem like there was a fire and the test subject, there was only one test subject in a room and everybody else in there was a plant who wasn't supposed to react because the fire was fake. And they noted how, which people tried to react to it and which didn't. And the results paint an interesting picture of how our society works.
Oh my god.
As a lot of people were reluctant to even comment about the smell of smoke because no one else seemed to have noticed it.
I just looked up what Sam Pepper is getting up to, because the last thing I remember about him is him getting called out for having like really shitty harassment, right? Because he would like go around harassing people publicly. And then he did his killing best friend prank, and then his channel basically died.
Oh yeah, when he ran out and like scared the shit out of his friends, and he's like,
he like kidnapped his friend at gunpoint or
yeah, with a mask on.
And it was like, haha, prank or whatever. Yeah, so apparently he has rebranded, I put in quotes.
Okay.
Now he does live streaming, playing video games and stuff. But here's where of course he always has to be up to no good.
Oh boy.
Oh, good old Sam Pepper. He denies being involved in a pump and dump scheme for cryptocurrency.
Of course.
Though somebody else part of his clan accused him of ordering a developer of their cryptocurrency Save the Kids token to change a mechanism within the currency, which after it's changed would allow for the cryptocurrency to be used as a pump and dump scheme.
Oh my god.
But of course.
What of course?
Some people never learn.
Of course. Don't you know anything about science?
I've got a good one. Well, I like it if it's done properly, but I know that some people would just try and turn this into political correctness gone wild. A vault where everyone wears shock collars, and the shocks are triggered by hearing a certain word spoken, so the controller can ban certain words.
It wouldn't surprise me if there was one that was like that.
I'm pretty sure Fallout has probably done something like that.
Yeah. They did one about drugs.
Yes,
which was really just mean-spirited.
like ban the word unhappy.
Well, they did one where the vault, basically the vault tricked the dwellers into thinking there was like an AI in the vault that was not actually capable of doing anything.
That
to
one's
harm them.
one of the worst I've ever seen. Yeah.
Well, basically what it did was it tricked the vault dwellers into thinking that they had to sacrifice one of their own annually.
Because if they didn't, everyone would die.
And what it wound up doing over the course of the couple of centuries that the vault was functioning was their society grew into political parties that would vote to like sacrifice somebody. And so their whole culture like evolved to adapt to this thing that they had to do, or they believed they had to do. But then like a huge fight broke out because people were getting tired of having to sacrifice their people, but basically most of the vault killed each other over it. And the last remaining survivors of the vault went into the overseer's office and met with the computer, and they refused. They told the computer that they refused to kill anybody else, to sacrifice anybody. And the AI is like, "Ha! That was part of the social experiment. You guys passed. You never had to kill anybody."
Yeah, didn't it like play a little tune and drop confetti from the ceiling? And it was like, "Congratulations, you guys are the best humanity has to offer. I'll open up the doors and provide all the extra food that you guys were missing." And they're like, "Oh my god."
It's so funny.
And there were like 4 of them, and then like the last recording you get implies that like they couldn't deal with it.
Shootout.
Yeah, they all like agreed that they were gonna.
They had a shootout.
Yeah, and that one of them did not want to go along with the, I shoot you, you shoot me, and then we're all done. They're like, we can't live with everything we've done, and one of them was like, nope, fuck this, I can. I'm gone. Goodbye.
Yeah, and it's implied. I think it's implied that the last surviving guy is like roaming the
he's just roaming there
wasteland
somewhere.
Yeah,
that one was really horrific.
Fallout,
There's some
man.
real
What a
horrific
game.
ones out there. Yeah.
What a game!
Now, it's a really sick and torturous one. A vault.
Let's not go too far. Just FYI, we are trying to keep it a little lighthearted, but yeah.
I'm going far.
Okay.
But sick and torturous, this one. Split up into 2 halves. One group has MP3 players, the other one has Zooms.
I see.
Yes, the ultimate punishment.
Jesus Christ.
I can do you one better. One faction uses Macs.
The other one has
PC.
No, I got a better one for you.
Oh yeah.
One group has standard Game Boy Advance. The other group Game Boy Advance with a built-in light so you can actually see.
Yeah, the backlight. Oh my god, that is evil.
Oh my god.
One faction has the Game Boy Advance. The other one has the Game Boy SP.
Jesus Christ.
Let's see how this society adapts.
We have come to worship the one known as Zelda.
I do remember that game, Disaren, and I really like it, and I agree with you that I think it's it's excellent at what it does. The game, by the way, is The Missing, which I did a Let's Play of, and I believe Disaren has also played it, I believe on her stream. I don't know if she recorded that, but it is an excellent game, and I highly recommend it. But yeah, sorry, please continue.
Yeah, I just think what would be an interesting thing. Well, here's a crazy idea that no one would ever go for. A vault where women are in charge.
That happened.
Did it?
I believe so. There was one that was something like that, but it was more than just that. They put a woman in charge, and I think they were pumping the vault full of chemicals to make the male inhabitants more aggressive. It was something like that.
Yeah, because it's based off of a like a B movie, like a 50s sci-fi B movie or something like that.
Yeah,
Like,
something
that's
like
what it was
that.
based off of. Well, I know they did one in Fallout 4 where they had like all of the richest inhabitants of Boston crammed into like really small apartments
Yep.
in this vault.
With the worst
And
accommodations.
the overseer, like really bad accommodations, and the overseer was a homeless man.
Yeah.
So like, and I guess it never came to fruition because they didn't complete.
Yeah, they
the
didn't
vault.
finish it, but you can find it, and it's a fucking mess.
But yeah, it's
Desarian does say that the missing is on her channel, and that she is thinking about streaming it again at some point. But she may cry. She may cry if she plays it again. And it is a game that definitely will tug at your heartstrings in multiple ways and at multiple moments.
all right. I've completed the computers, and some of the containers as well.
Excellent.
Just to let you know. Yeah.
I got a really shitty one. But this one actually would be interesting. There's a gas being pumped into the vault that sterilizes everyone. And once a year, a serum is deposited in a syringe, or 2 serums rather, to cure someone of it briefly. And so 2 people need to be elected to be parents once a year.
Interesting.
I think there was one where they took their children and raised them separately.
I will do you one even better.
By robots.
Are you ready?
Mm-hmm.
Go for it.
One group has to drink Gatorade. The other group has to drink Powerade.
And both groups will suffer, yes.
One container of each a day.
A vault where all the
No
people
water.
that are inside it are the ones
Just-
with the gene that makes cilantro taste like soap, and that's all they have to eat.
Oh man, that would be awful.
I say that as a person with the gene that makes cilantro taste like soap. I hate it.
I pity. I give you. You have my pity. Cilantro is good. Also, I learned something interesting.
Hmm.
Michael?
I'm looking this up to. Yeah. Okay. So we call it cilantro, but most of the world actually calls it coriander.
Yes.
Oh yeah, that's what it's called.
What the fuck, man?
Oh yeah, Desaren says Fallout 4 took the child, I think. Yes, well the premise is that your child is taken from you at the beginning of Fallout 4. But I think that there was a...
Spoilers for anyone who hasn't...
I mean, it's in the first 5 minutes.
But it's not a given that you know what the child becomes.
I didn't say anything about that. I wasn't going to mention what
I thought you
happens
were
to your
gonna-
kid at all.
Okay,
No.
I thought you were gonna explain it.
No,
I
no,
mean,
no.
You can. The game's been out for 7 years. If you don't know what it's about, you know.
What I was going to say was, yeah, Desaren mentioned that Fallout 4 had the one that took the children, and yeah, in the game, your own child gets taken right away, and there's also a vault. I believe it's it's the one where you find Curie, and it's like all about this incurable disease or whatever. And I believe that they've been taking the children from their parents and telling them that they died, but they didn't.
Yeah, I remember that one. It's been a while since I played Fallout 4. I need to play that again.
Yeah, here in the United States, we often confuse daddy long legs for spiders, even when they're not. They're also called harvest men. They have a single body segment, and I think they've only got a couple eyes. But we often mistake them for spiders. They've only got 6 limbs.
I hate those things.
Okay,
Yeah,
I got
well,
one.
they do a necessary part of nature, though. They get rid of bodies. They just pick them up
They
and
can
take
do
them away.
they can do the necessary
The
part of
bees.
nature way the hell.
They're
away from
bee
them.
reapers. That's what they are. They're beepers. They
So
clear.
beekeepers, the bee reapers.
Yeah, well, there's a lot of beehives that actually keep a harvest man around. They take the bodies of deceased bees and put them outside the hive, and at night the harvest men come and just carry them away.
Hey, Alex.
Yes.
Do you want to know what British people call eggplants?
Aubergines?
Yes. Why?
Why?
Why? This is my question for you, David.
I don't know.
Why do you
Desarin
guys
says-
call eggplants aubergines?
Oh!
Aubergine Adrian, what?
Yeah, Desarin says, here in Canada it's completely different. What we call a daddy longleg is also known as a crane fly or mosquito hawk. Oh, so they're big and they fly.
Oh,
Same.
wait, then what do you call daddy longlegs?
Probably
Daddy
harvest men.
Longlegs is a name. Daddy
Harvest man.
Longlegs. Yeah, Daddy Longlegs is a name of a couple of different creatures across the world.
Oh,
For me,
Desarin
it's
says
like-
we don't have them here. Really?
What?
For me, a daddy.
They don't have harvest men. Interesting.
I need to move to Canada. What? I hate those things.
I
told
know you
why.
do. I know you do, but
It's a
Canada
trauma,
still has
okay?
spiders. That's why I went. Is because
But
Canada
they don't
still
have
has
daddy
spiders.
longlegs, and those are my least favorite of all spiders.
Desarin says that at least where she lives, they don't have cockroaches either.
Ooh, you're making it sound better and better.
You're making a very strong argument for Canada.
Because I've also had a bad experience with cockroaches. Living in Hawaii, that's pretty much all that there is
Oh,
out there.
the fucking palm roaches, yeah.
Hey, yeah, imagine for a moment walking on the sidewalk in the middle of night, knowing for a fact that
There are so
all
many.
around you there is a swarm of cockroaches flying around.
Yeah, in Georgia they
like-
didn't have those ones, but we did have flying roaches, and they were not scared of you. If you accidentally almost stepped on them and backed up, they would run at your foot like they wanted you to crush them, and you're like, no, because they're
Dare you,
dead.
motherfucker! Do it. Try it. Try it.
Here's one for you guys. I don't think I've ever seen a mosquito.
Really?
Lucky.
Wait, does the UK not have mosquitoes?
I don't know.
I don't think they're very common.
Oh, Ferb says don't move to central Canada. We do have harvest men. I have always called them a daddy longleg, and I like them because they are harmless. They are. They are the most harmless thing. They are not remotely interested in you. They just want to take bees away.
The UK. Oh, I'm sorry. I should probably pronounce this the way the British pronounce it. The UK has 30 native mosquitoes
Critters.
species in the entirety of the British Isles. So yeah, you guys have mosquitoes. I guess they're rare though.
It's probably because it's too cold and gross in a lot of places.
Well, that's changing.
Yeah. I hope you like mosquitoes.
Yeah, because you guys are about to get a lot of them with
Ooh,
given
boy,
how
yeah.
damp everything is up there.
Ooh, but yeah.
How many species does the United States have of mosquitoes?
This is a good question.
200 species. Oh my god.
There we go. I knew we'd win at something. Oh,
Yeah, you guys have more bloodsuckers.
by the way, Mikey.
Oh, public service announcement for everybody, really quick.
Eh.
According to virologists and immunologists, I guess this year's flu season is predicted to be pretty freaking bad.
Yeah,
It's
I
going
heard.
it's gonna flu's gonna return with a vengeance. So
Oh,
get your
boy.
flu shot if you can.
Yeah, I need to do that. I also need to get my COVID booster.
Yeah.
I haven't had a COVID booster in ages.
You should be fine because the immunity lasts from 8 to 12 months, but you should
I'm gonna get
You
one
should see about
because I'm
getting
gonna be
another
traveling soon. So,
mhm.
by the way, look at this boy.
Oh my goodness.
Gaze upon him.
Absolutely.
I gave him a very long, thick neck.
He look like a Pokemon.
Look like a My Little Pony monster.
He got the luscious locks, the luscious mane. All right, let's get him to the right size. Actually, we can't use the Fresno Nightcrawlers because they were too tall. Let's compare it to... Oh, it gone. Well, never mind. That one was gone. I forgot I removed it. Fresno Nightcrawlers it is. I guess this one's just going to be unnaturally tall. Which makes sense. It has a very long neck. I could probably shrink the body a little bit, actually. Let's shrink the body a little bit. Shrink the body and make it even cuter.
Yes.
Yes.
Ooh. Oh, yeah, here's a good idea. You get 2 vaults that are connected. I think this has been done.
It looks
But
like a
2
Tagnari on drugs.
With 2 vaults in the middle. One of them has... Ooh. Well, this is actually something I want to do in D&D. You give them medieval weapons. One of them has steel weapons. The other one has bronze weapons. And the fun thing about that is steel will go through bronze as easily as a kitchen knife would go through a tin can.
That would be a very short experiment.
Be an interesting one, though.
I think it will be very short and easily predictable.
I thought about doing something like that for D&D, though, like give the dwarves steel weapons and maybe give, like, humans whatnot, bronze or something.
So kind of what would the gameplay loop be?
Still be like mostly bronze weapons, or just have a nation that's still in the Bronze Age, basically.
Okay. Was there like a specific premise to go off of other than just that, or just you want a story that takes place in a world like that?
A story that takes place in a just I like the idea of like party sides up with the people for using the steel weapons, then goes against the people using the bronze, and like, oh, this is such a one-sided fight. Like, why are we doing this? I also thought it might be interesting to have, like, say, a dwarf who owns, has inherited a bronze mine, and it used to be really valuable because everyone used to make their stuff from bronze. Then iron and steel came along, and it's made it practically worthless. Because even though bronze is pretty, it doesn't have a lot of practical applications, even by today's standards. So, not garnering nearly as much, so he tries to just sell off tons of bronze weaponry to unsuspecting people.
Oh, thank you to Zarin. Zarin says the giant eyes make it look so cute.
He's very cute.
Thank you.
It's so crazy to think about how some of this stuff works. Like I think there's steel, there's tempered steel, and there's a fairly big difference between it, which is crazy to think about.
I believe so. I don't remember what the difference is off the top of my head at the moment. And then there's also surgical steel, which is extremely pure. And there's a reason that they use that in earrings now.
I believe with temper... I'm not entirely sure if I've got all the details right here, but tempering the steel makes it stronger. I'm not sure how much stronger, but stronger.
I believe tempering's just when you heat it up. And it does harden the metal. That's why if you bend, when you heat it and you soften it, but then when you bend it around, it begins to stiffen again. And so I believe tempering it is you like superheat it and you quench it in water, and it's stronger as a result, but it's more brittle.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah, like there's scientists know how to do it, but they can't explain why it happens. Okay. Tempering is used to increase the toughness of iron alloys, particularly steel. Untempered steel is very hard, but is too brittle for applications.
Yeah, heating softens it. And then when you quench it, it stiffens up again. This looks like some kind of evil aardvark. Yeah, real chill vibes. This is a good list. Yes? Well, you'll have to wait. Dinner is ready, but I am not.
Yeah, not too much longer to go anyway.
Sorry for the loud noise. Hopefully that wasn't too loud for everybody.
No worries.
Oh, didn't even hear it, says Aaron. Oh, good.
Yeah, good.
It was not bad, says Ferb. Okay. Then maybe I can isolate my yell and get rid of it for the YouTube video.
Well, I got a good question for the two of you. What is the coolest robot you can think of?
The coolest robot I can think of?
Mm-hmm.
Does Kamen Rider count? I don't think they count. They're a transformation, but they seem to become machines when they do. Someone who knows more about Kamen Rider, tell me. Are they machines? Because Kamen Rider is cool and goofy. They're like Power Rangers, but more so, and I like them.
Because they're vigilantes. They're enhanced humans with superhuman strength.
Okay, so they're not robots. Or they don't turn into robots. I don't know. A lot of the things that I do don't have robots in them. I guess it'd probably have to be somebody from Star Wars. Probably R2.
Fair enough.
Dezarin wants to know what the question was. The question was, what is your favorite robot? Or which robot do you from media do you think is the coolest? Just gotta finish this up and then I can go find out what food is. I'll put the stripes on it in the color version.
It's kind of like a nuclear deterrent.
Design says, Common Riders are a funny thing. I didn't even realize this until a friend mentioned it, but every Common Rider, their power to fight the evil is the same power the evil is using, but is being used for good. Oh yeah, that's true. They use their, Gaia memory. Is that what I think they're called? They're like little memory sticks that have a concept in them or some such. Or at least that's what the one I'm watching now has. Every series has a different thing. Okay. The one I'm currently watching, called Fudo PI, is a series based off of a live-action series, but this one is anime now. And it is ridiculous. If you want a dark one, look into Kamen Rider Amazons. Neat. Let's see what that one's about. But Kamen Rider has interesting creature designs. It involves a lot of eating people. Yeah, one of the enemies in Fudo PI is like that too. It's one that uses a concept called road, which allows you to create roads through dimensions even by expelling biomass and turning it into basically asphalt. Except that it starts to, you know, obviously your body can't replenish blood that fast, so what it does is it makes its host start craving, it makes them constantly hungry. And they usually resort to eating people to create more mass, to make more roads.
I thought that'd be cool. I thought of something similar. So basically, I found out that there's a machine that can take biomass and convert it into energy. Like it can, like there's a clock I know of that has flypaper on it, and what it does is periodically it will collect the dead flies from the flypaper and then convert the biomass of the flies into energy to power the clock.
The reason that's funny to me is, as was pointed out in an anime that had a monster, which was machines, with a similar premise, this means that that's a robot that has to poop.
Potentially, yes.
Oh, certainly, unless there's some way to get rid of all the extra mass you don't use.
But I was thinking, imagine if you did that with, like, say, for example, the Cyberman out of Doctor Who. That would be a very cool idea.
That's sort of what they do, I think. Well, I mean, they've got a little bio thing inside themselves, don't they? They don't like to talk about it, but they've got like a little alien in them.
Oh no, that's the Daleks, the Cybermen.
Oh, sorry, Cybermen are different. I don't know why I thought they were the Daleks.
I know, wait.
You'd think the Daleks would become friends with Cybermen, because that's what they want, but...
I don't think I'm not sure if they've done a team up.
Probably because they're super racist.
The Cybermen basically pluck the brains out of humans and then put them into new Cybermen.
Okay, I think that's all the inks that needed to be done. Yes! Awesome. Alright, let's change. Alright, there we go. And here's this funky dude with their funky other form. Nice. Alright. And with that, we are done! We are done with the Bunyip.
Very good work.
I gotta color him in. Got a little tassel tail. Might erase some of those lines. There's too many lines on that tail. But yeah. I want to thank everybody for coming. Everybody who came. The Amazons are humanoid organisms created by Nozama Pharmacy from an artificial cell called an Amazon cell. They look like people but can turn into an animal monster. They are all animal-based, and yeah, they need lots of protein. Biggest nearby source being, well, humans, and once they go human, though, that's all they want. I see. Need to introduce them to tofu.
Once they get the taste.
Ferb says that the big version of the Bunyip reminds them of a creature that they used to draw while they were in grade school, and that's why they think they love it so much. Awesome! Alright. But yes. Where was I? I will see everybody tomorrow. Let's have a real quick look and see what our cryptid for tomorrow is. It's okay, Desert. Let's see. The Goatman.
Floridian.
Tomorrow is the Goatman, as seen and made famous by BuzzFeed Unsolved. It's my bridge now, Goatman. So he'll be fun. He has an axe. Sometimes. The goat, he screams like a man. Yes.
Is there a moose?
A moose? Yeah, probably. There's a moose cryptid. I believe there is.
Oh, no,
As a
I was
ghost
gonna say, like,
moose.
There's a movie that involves a goatman sling.
Yeah, there's probably a movie based on it. Oh, goodness. He's with the bridge. It's not a satyr, no. It's a demonic goat. But yes. So I will see everybody tomorrow. Same time, same location. All the links to my socials are down below the video, both here on Twitch and later on YouTube. It includes a link to my Patreon, where if you like what I do and want to support me, there's all kinds of fun rewards, like free art at the higher tiers, and everybody down to the lowest tier gets access to the Discord, which I know is a big draw for people, so yes. I hope that you all had fun. I hope I'll see you tomorrow, and I hope you have a good rest of your day. Bye-bye!
Bye.
Bye.
I would like to take this opportunity to thank all of my followers over on Patreon, and give a special shout out to Jack Fox, Old Monster, Dizarin, and Revolution72. Thank you guys so much for your continued support. I'd also like to give a big thank you to everyone else watching. If you enjoyed the video, let me know with a like and a comment. Be sure to have a look at the other videos on my channel, and subscribe so you never miss a new one. Links to my Patreon, Twitch, and all my other socials are in the description below the video. I hope I'll see you next time. Bye bye!